Hello! So I made my first test pieces. So the end caps that will hold the motor, the bearing of the ball screw. Yeah, I screwed in the inserts in these holes. I showed that earlier, so I'm not going to show that again. Same here, end cap. You might wonder why is there a piece missing here. That's because the plate that's gonna be sitting on these carriages, it's gonna hold the x-axis, is slanted over to one side to get the spindle motor in between the carriages. If I make a straight plate, the spindle will be here, and I miss this piece of actual working area. So the side plates will be a bit like banana shape, and to do that it has to have clearance here, so it can extend to here, and then the spindle motor is around here. Yeah, so this is really hard to explain, probably no one understands, but I need this clearance so these side plates can extend here and do not interfere. Anyhow, I knew I had to make a spacer here, and I modeled it and it should be 6mm, but I measured it, it's actually 8mm. So it's nice you have CAD and such, but things do not work out always. Well, there are more things that did not work out as I planned or as I drew up, and I used like drawings of the actual parts, but still you only know when you fit pieces. So that's why I used this HPL and did not start with aluminium, because if I did, I lost some 30-40 euros right now. So yeah, so problems. There are several. So I wanted to check if this holder for the ball screw is as high as the carriages. Well, you might not be able to see it, but clearly it's not. And this you cannot see, but there is like 1.5mm in between this piece, and because otherwise I could not do this. Now, when I designed the motor mount and the hole for the bearing of this ball screw, I chose sloppy screw holes so I could move it. When you've seen me cut these motor mounts, so one motor mount here, I was playing around with this bearing, if it could, you know, move around. There's only one thing that I forgot, and that is that although I could move the bearing, when you attach the axle from the ball screw to the motor, it will align to the motor axle, and there is no, you cannot move this bearing. So although my holes have slop, there's no way I can adjust this. So that's another thing that you will not see in the drawing. You think it's all fine and dandy, but it's not. Reason why it's not is that the motor mount itself is screwed into this panel with threads inside this piece. So the motor mount is where it is, and the motor itself with its axle does not allow to move the bearing, which is a good thing, but not to line things up. At least lining this up. It is good to line up the motor with the axle of the ball screw, and you know, that's what's happening. So what I have to do is make these holes sloppier, or I don't know, so I can adjust some. So what I did in the drawing right now is I moved all these holes and the hole for where the bearing is gonna sit, etc., 1.5mm upwards. So this should be flat, And then I'll make these holes a little bit more sloppy, so we can adjust this whole plate up and down and a little bit left to right, because I don't know yet if the ball screw is straight in this direction. Could be a little bit off like this or this, and a little bit like this and this. So I need some adjustment, and since this become one piece with the bearing, it has to be the plates that I can adjust. And I already made the holes a little bit sloppier, so it's M6 threaded screw. I make the holes 7 millimeters, so there's only 0.5 millimeter of adjustment, and in this case that's not enough. So I might be looking for hex screws with a bigger head, still use M6, and then make the holes a little bit more sloppy, like maybe 8 millimeter. But I want a bigger head on the screws, so it still has clamping force. Otherwise, if you like screw it down, you might just pull the whole head through the hole, and that's not good. Could use like washers, but I don't know, I'd rather have different screws. Pardon me. Another thing, the surface finish looks quite okay, except for the melamine layer here, because I used a bit that has a cutting length of 12 millimeter, and I cut down to 13 to make sure it's all cut out, but I forgot that there is a part that has no cutting edge, and when I did my finishing pass, it fucked up the melamine layer. Also, I noticed that the piece of HPL where this is coming from, the inside looked much cleaner, even, like really clean, than this part. So this is milled in conventional way, and the outside of the part is by default then milled in climb cutting. So apparently for the surface finishing pass, for this material, climb cutting will give a better result, because the best result edge is still on the machine, which is going to be in the garbage. Overall, with this motor here, this thing is huge. You know, if you draw it up, it all looks quite small, but I might have, and I said that before, I might have gone overboard in how bulky it is for the things I do. I mean, cutting a coil, I definitely don't need this kind of huge ass heavy material. And for MDF, I don't think so either. So you can imagine if I use two of them, and then we have all the aluminium pieces that should be in between them to connect the two. And then we have still 2 axes to go. So this thing is gonna be insanely heavy. And I think I went a little bit overboard for what I wanted to do, and still used cheap ass material. So it's not that I'm ending up with a machine that can do steel or whatever, because that's never going to be the case. It's just really heavy and big for the thing I want to do with it. Anyhow, I have to adjust this drawing and do it again. I have some material left, and if that's gone, then I have to cut up. Oh, here, this was like a desk. This is HPL, it's the same thickness, 12 millimeter. It's a bit dirty and there's crap on it, but it's a huge piece, as you can see. 150 long, what is it? 50 or 60 wide. So this is one of those proper desks with a huge HPL plate or tabletop. I found it on the street and I thought, I'll just grab the HPL and leave the rest behind. Although the whole desk was quite nice. You could raise it, etc. I should have taken the whole desk, I guess, but at least I know this is, you know, something that is worth, to me at least, 150 or more. So, dumpster diving, but not really a dumpster, but street diving. So yeah, that's it for today. Overall, this looks very nice, but this does not look very nice. This is too low. So I'll just adjust the drawing and create something to have some adjustability as well, also on the other side. Then I have to make a spacer for the other side, 8mm thick. And then I can screw together this whole thing. And we should have a working thing. Then I'll add a top plate here. Like, it's gonna be sitting like this. We miss one carriage, of course, but... And we can connect some wires and see if it works. What I'm worried about, and people should be worried about, is width on this thing, because it's 2 meters long and not really thick. It's like 20mm thick ball screw, and I'm pretty sure it will whip at certain speeds. So hopefully if I can get like 5,000mm a minute, that is good enough. But for rapids it's not insanely fast. Another option that I could have done is use these ball screws, but they're only available in 1.5 meter, and this is a pitch of 20mm instead of 10, so this would have less whip. Another option would be going with the trapezoidal or helical rack and pinion method. I might in the future, but you know, I'm a noob. Just buy things, see how it goes. And I'll end up with lots of parts I can use for another machine or something. I don't know. So far it looks cool, but I have to redo it. But it's always nice to do test fit, because yes, you can draw anything, and then in real life it doesn't work out. At least that's my opinion. That's what happens to my building thingies. Anyhow, see you later. Bye bye.